It is your girl Kiki Orr, and as you know, I've just returned from Peru on what I call a spiritual journey. I promised that I was going to share my personal journey and experience with you, but before doing so, I think it's important that I first give honor and respect to the indigenous people of the Amazon who have made the experience possible and have been a steward of the medicine for thousands of years. I believe that it's important to honor its traditions by sharing the origins and significance of ayahuasca so that we can approach it with the reverence it deserves. Shall we? We shall. The medicine itself is a brew and is typically made from two plants, the Banistropius caapi vine and the Psychotria viridis leaves. What's remarkable is that the indigenous knowledge recognized the synthetic relationship between these plants long before Western science understood the biochemical interactions. The medicine is often prepared with prayer, intentions, and specific rituals that vary by traditions. I know this as it relates to intentions because in going into the ceremonies, I set my intentions before, during, and after. And when the shaman was presenting the brew for me to drink, he prayed over it and he gave it with love, and I received it with love. They call it the grandmother of medicine, or abuela. I experienced this personally, another personal experience. There are many of those. She shows up with nurturing yet firm teachings. Like a wise grandmother, she offers ancestral wisdoms and tough love when needed. Unlike, I have to giggle a little bit because, baby, the way she gave me some lessons, honey, but she still wrapped me in her warm embrace like a grandmother would. Unlike other plant medicines that might feel more masculine or neutral, ayahuasca often manifests as a wise feminine presence in the experience. I can't wait to tell you how stern she was with me, but also how loving. Ceremonies are led by indigenous healers that undergo years of decades of trainings, and these ceremonies include protective practices, Icaro songs, and specific protocols that create safe containers for the profound work. Traditionally, ayahuasca is just one element within a comprehensive system of plant knowledge and spiritual practices. Preparation for receiving the medicine is really important. It shows respect and allows you to really receive the medicine in body and spirit. They require or ask of you to change your diet. So that includes avoiding certain foods like alcohol, drugs, sexual activities, certain medications for safety. And when I was sharing with a friend that I was doing this and she had done it herself, she said, "Oh, you're going to have a good journey because I literally cut out everything. I didn't even want to use honey. You know what I'm saying? And honey is a natural sweetener, but I was like, I'm not even doing that." I also had a couple of lovers before going into ceremony, and I cut them off primarily because they were not even serving me. And so it is my understanding that prior to even receiving or ingesting, I should say, the medicine, that the medicine starts working in advance of. I really believe that it added to the process and to the journey. Preparation isn't just physical, right? It's energetic and spiritual, demonstrating a commitment and creating the space for deeper connection. So why do people seek ayahuasca? While traditional uses focus on healing and spiritual connections and community cohesion, contemporary seekers, as myself, often come for healing from trauma, addictions, or depression, seeking clarity on life purpose, spiritual growth, or breaking through patterns that haven't responded to conventional approaches. What's important to understand is that ayahuasca isn't a quick fix, but often the beginning of a deeper healing journey. And so for me, I have been on a journey, as I shared before. I am always been a seeker. I was seeking a deeper understanding of what were the barriers that were getting in the way of me accessing my greater self. I was hoping that it could open up and maybe give some answers to some of the childhood traumas that I was experiencing. So that was the reason that I chose to experience ayahuasca. The medicine is traditionally used in Peru, Colombia, Ecuador, and Brazil. There are legal religious contexts like the Santo Daime churches. Retreat centers exist in countries like Costa Rica, Mexico, and Portugal. While underground ceremonies happen globally, they come with legal risk and variable qualities. Safety, legalities, and ethical considerations should guide where you choose to experience the medicine. The shaman or facilitator is crucial to both safety and depth of experience. Important questions to ask include their lineage, training, safety protocols, integration support. Red flags include lack of medical screening, promises of magical outcomes, and insufficient preparation. I know that for me, it was a shaman was suggested by Ellie, who supported me on with the process, and I'm so grateful because one of the things that she said was that he is a man of great integrity. And I got that very, very clear when I was in ceremony, because the thing is, I'm born with the gift of sight. And to be able to see him in ceremony allowed me to see that he was a man of integrity. And that is so important because I think it will aid or can take away from your experience if the person is not in alignment. A little bit in a video before about integration, right? I'm back here in New York City, so I also shared that I did not do this as an opportunity to just check something off the box. And so integration after ceremony is as important as the experience itself. It's the process of weaving insights into daily life and allowing you to create lasting change. So traditional and contemporary approaches include journaling, meditation, creative expression, and community sharing. Without integration, profound realizations can fade before creating transformation. And we are on, and those who choose the plant are on a journey of transformation. So you want to integrate it and practice it before, during, and after. Honoring the land and the people, and that's where I started. When we benefit from the medicine, we have a responsibility to acknowledge the Amazon and its stewards. Organizations like the Amazon Conservation Team works to ensure indigenous communities receive support and protections for their lands. True appreciation means approaching these traditions with humility and ensuring respect flows back to the source community. It's very interesting too because when we went to the Machu Picchu, our guide, Jacqueline, who's native to the land, and her depth of knowledge was so expansive. And one of the things she was showing us on the journey that some of the places on Machu Picchu were closed off because some tourists had come and they were smoking or they were having lunch in places that they were not supposed to. And so it is important that you honor and respect the land and the indigenous people of the land. As I share my experience in future videos, I do so with profound respect for the indigenous wisdom keepers who have preserved these practices. My journey stands on the shoulders of traditions that long predate me, and I invite you to approach this topic with the same reverence. Now with that, I feel like I can go and share my experience fully. So if you're not following me on YouTube, please do so, because in the coming days and weeks, I will be sharing all of the stuff. And baby, when I tell you, the girl got some stories, the girl got some stories. Ooh, specifically that last night. Until next time.